Welcome to the Balkans. This is a place where you can say goodbye to your childhood dreams and say hello to a construction site. There is two types of people living here, in my opinion. Now, the first one is people going to work or becoming a criminal, driving that 2005 BMW with more kilometers on it than there is between Earth and the Moon and back, while trying to avoid the local politics because they are more toxic than the highest level of chemotherapy. The second one is pretty much the same as the previous one, though the only difference is that you blame or use politics as an excuse for everything bad going on in your life. You didn't fill up your car for the next day? Well, that's the government's fault. The mosquito keeps bothering you while you sleep because you forgot to close the window? That's the government's fault. Trying to smuggle 200 liters of freshly made rakia across the border but get caught by the border police? Guess what? That's the government's fault. But let's not give our politicians too much credit, because I've seen plastic bags blown in the wind with more character than our leaders. Before we start another Balkan war, I think we can all agree that our politics are in shambles. Now, how did it came to all of this? Well, apart from centuries of oppressions, ethnic and religious tensions in the region that later evolved into nationalism on a scale of its own, we will focus only on the 20th century, more specifically the second half. Now, this was a time when most of the countries in southeastern Europe were under communist or other similar political regimes, with the exception of some like Greece and Turkey here in the Balkans. Theoretically speaking, communism might sound quite good to a lot of people. That's why you have so many students in America supporting it, without researching how it was in actual practice, of course.
My son is a communist!
Usually there is a dictator and with him his closest associates and friends. Seeing that a lot of countries are still struggling because of the past is one of the reasons why I don't want it to return. Slovenia got off pretty easily, I'm not gonna lie, but this doesn't change the fact that usually people come here to launder money because it's not that hard to do. But more recently, the more I read the news, the more I'm confused. But hey, at least the food is still good, you know. I also try to stay informed as much as I can on what is going on in other countries as well, and I've realized we are all so finished, but at least we can drink some rakia together while we still can. Our politicians are filling up potholes with cold-lay asphalt in the last 6 months of their mandate just to get those desperate votes from old people, but this happens pretty much everywhere you go. I don't know why we make jokes about Americans and other people from the West when we have a pigeon for a president. In other countries their president is in the fridge, and in some countries they don't even know who the president is. Like GDP graphs of some countries look like those NCS sound wave effects. So we have the whole package here. Don't worry. There is this specific thing that stuck with me for a long time when YouTube recommended me a video, and it was about when Asmongold reacted to a video about the Balkans.
And and they're the ones that'll always try to do like this dark humor, like make bad jokes about shit. If you ever want to make somebody like this mad, just ask them about their local politics. Like they can make themselves more mad than you can ever make them.
And this statement couldn't be more true. Like it's funny and scary at the same time how true it is.
Jaz res ne vem, kaj bi meni nižji davki koristili. Razen da bi imel več denarja na računu in bi zapravljal za mogoče večje neumnosti.
In some places, the prices are going through the roof, mostly due to them joining the EU, and now I have to pay €7 for a beer at the beach in Croatia. A lot of people can't afford it no more because the salaries are still more or less the same. Compared to how much the prices have risen, the growth of salaries in most countries is basically non-existent, or minimal at best. At this point, I will just visit our local lake for summer vacation because it ain't worth it no more, man. Thanks for that, European Union.
Лади-дади, на пляжі.
Our police is also a topic for its own video, but to put it as simple as possible, the further south you go in the Balkans, the worse police gets. But if we focus on how useful they are, for example, if you are getting robbed and you call them, it will take so long for them to do anything. But don't you dare listen to music 1 minute past 10 in the evening, because they will kick your door down. There is also another thing that happened here in Slovenia some time back. It happened in the capital, and there was a student that was not quite mentally stable, like swinging kitchen knives around and being dangerous to others in public. I shit you not, they had to call special forces for a guy that probably weighs 50 kilograms when it's raining outside. There was like 20 police officers, and despite that, one of them somehow got injured. Like how? But the funniest part out of everything was, when the police was acting all serious and creating a blockade around the guy, there was someone's grandma just casually walking behind the guy with knives, not giving a single shit about the whole situation. Like, what the hell is going on, man? You know what? You guys leave some interesting stories from your own experiences in the comments, so we can cope together. Oh yeah, there is another thing I don't understand. Why are all of the administrative units and other public institutions filled with 150-year-old accountants that should be retired since the time when Tito was still alive? They do jack shit, are slow, and usually can't use a computer, which can be quite a problem in the year 2025, as you would imagine, of course. These workers could be replaced with actual computers, or at least half of them, and everything would be 100 times faster. But no. They want you to wait in line for 2 fucking hours just to get rejected because you are missing a paper form, while they literally have it across their table but don't feel like standing up. You need to fill and send paper forms for almost everything, although some things are online now, to give them some credit. But still, a lot of things are still checked and approved manually, one at a time. At least we have free healthcare, or something like that. It's quite confusing to understand, but basically, when you sign the contract with your employer here, the company will automatically register you with Health Insurance Institute, which means it covers your social security and basic health insurance contributions. But you still have to pay for better insurance on your own, of course. That's obvious. The problem with our healthcare doesn't come with that, but with insanely long waiting lines. I mean, you can go to a private hospital if you have money, but most people don't have it. In my case, when I had problems with my lower back because of my big balls, nah, I'm just kidding. I really had problems since I was a kid, but I finally went to the doctor back in 2022 because I don't really want back problems at the age of 24. They said I will get an appointment date delivered to me in the next couple of days. It took them almost 3 months for them to give me a date to go visit a specialist, and I only got it done this year in March. To be honest, I forgot about it, and my back somehow got better on its own, so that's good. But at least we are not living in France, or the UK, or Germany, or Sweden. In my town, I can tell you that even some migrants are not happy with the salaries they get here. I know a guy that works in a Gorenje factory here in my town, and he said that the migrants working with him are complaining that they only get 200 to 300 euros more than they got back home in Philippines and are thinking about moving to other countries. So here's that. Okay, enough complaining for today if I want to keep my last brain cells healthy. I've ran out of ideas, if it isn't obvious, but new video that you guys will enjoy very much is coming soon, I promise. Until then, stay safe, stay educated, and until next time, boys!
Ο Θανάσης δεν ξυπνά, ούτε πρόκειται να ξυπνήσει.